So, hi, I'm Penny from Change Ahead, and today I'm so excited because I've known this woman for a long, long time, and she is one of the best EFT practitioners that I have met. I think really we didn't get a chance to speak until we were in Hawaii. However, this lady's name, who's with me today, is Gill Crane, and she's an EFT practitioner and trainer. And she specializes particularly working with women that are stressed out. How many women out there are stressed out at the moment? So, welcome, Jill. How are you today, darling?
Hi, Penny. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not stressed out, so that's really good. And yeah, I'm sort of busy with clients and enjoying my EFT work. Yeah, it's all good. Looking forward to coming out of lockdown, I must admit.
Yes, that is also a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
And it is really because I think I know you really well, but actually, we didn't really meet, I don't think, until we were in Hawaii.
Yes, I think you're right. In fact, we met. Remember, we met Gary Craig for breakfast,
Yes.
which was quite interesting. Like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
So
Let's just have a chat with Gary. What
yeah.
a great sense of humor he has. So,
Oh, yeah, amazing guy. Yeah, he's
yeah,
really great. And Hawaii,
beautiful.
yeah, it's a good trip.
And so, I'd like to chat with you about um, particularly about stressed out women. What drew you to work with stressed out women, Jill?
Well, I have been a stressed out woman, believe it or not. Yeah, I used to, in my past, work in the city of London and all juggling and working and things that entails. And then an hour and a half commute each way, plus working in London. So it was quite a major stressed out time in my life. And to add to that, I was also trying to get pregnant and have a baby. So that led to a sort of 4 year journey of working on myself to get pregnant, and actually discovering EFT in the process, which has been just mind blowing because I'm kind of a bit of a left brained accountant by trade many years ago. So it has been a really long journey discovering EFT and how it can help myself and other people. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
And it's interesting as well because Gary Craig is quite left brained,
Mm.
studying to be an engineer, and you're very left brained. Yet EFT has got this little bit of a myth about it being fluffy and
Yeah,
woo woo. And however, you now have a child, don't you?
I do. Yes, that child is now 17. That child thinks he's 55 now, but yes, he's 17. So yeah, he's good.
And you can see that you're really relaxed now. And when I always chat to you, you always seem to have things under control, whereas sometimes even I'm spinning plates. But I'd like to chat about these particular stressed out women. What is it that makes, well, what is it about working with stressed out women that's joyful for you?
Hmm. I think it helps that I've sort of been in that situation when I've had a lot of things going on, and juggling various things. So I understand what it's like. And I do think that men have their own stresses, of course, it's very different. But for us, the way our brain works is we take on a lot of different things. And we
Mhm.
seem to be constantly juggling different things. And I think that makes it quite hard, and we can get, easily get run down with that. So I think managing that is just really important in the female world. And also, as women, we tend to sacrifice ourselves for our kids or family or other people. And I think it's really important just to keep everything working and keep in balance. And because of that, I think EFT works really well because you can actually do 5 minutes of tapping during the day. Everyone can find that time to do 5 minutes of tapping a day. And it just makes you feel so much better. And I think we need to learn about our bodies and learn to manage our lives. For me, it's enabled me to take on a lot more stuff because it sort of increases your capacity for stress, increases your resilience. So, I think it's just a great thing for women who are, going through a lot of stress, and who isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, particularly at the moment where anxiety is raising. Even people are anxious of coming out of lockdown, going back to work, realizing that they didn't like their work
Yeah.
and didn't realize until they were furloughed. The stresses of mums like you at home working, plus their children at home,
Mhm.
plus the cleaning, plus.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on. I was wondering, do you have a favorite little case study that you would like to share? Obviously, that you won't name names or anything, but a particular case study that was just so beautiful that you can invite people to resonate with.
Yeah. Um, I have an interesting case study. I quite like case studies where you can see the results, as in we know there is a change,
Yeah,
definitely. So, because it's often subjective, whether someone has or hasn't changed, or they've changed and then they go out the session and maybe they go back to normal. We just don't know. But with this particular client, very interesting. She'd It was whiplash injury, so it was a physical thing.
mm,
And I quite like dealing with physical things
mm,
because of the reason I mentioned. It's either there or it's gone.
yeah,
And this lady had actually had whiplash pain in her neck for, would you believe it, 20 years.
mm,
And we chatted about it, and we tapped around the pain, the physical, what was happening to her right now, and how physical it was. And, it went down a little bit. But I thought to myself, there must be more to it than just the physical pain. So we continued talking. I found out that she got the whiplash injury after a car accident, and her husband had been driving. And after the accident, she'd had this whiplash injury, and she'd tried loads of things, and it just was not shifting. But we had a little chat about it, and we did some matrix re-imprinting. So we sort of go through the actual what happened and what she felt like during the accident, and we just tap while the client was talking about that. And I introduced her to matrix re-imprinting, so we did a bit of that. And it was still hanging on in there, that pain. And I think by memory it was about an 8, so it was quite high up in the scale. And we chatted, and she happened to mention that she actually felt resentful of her husband because he was fine, and she was the one who'd held on to this
yeah,
thing. But she hadn't been able to express this resentment because she was married and to him, obviously, and she had 2 kids, and she just didn't feel she wanted to upset the family dynamic. So, to an EFT practitioner, a word like resentment is something that needs to be worked on. So we worked on that. So we worked on the resentment aspect of it, and we did about 3 or 4 rounds of tapping on the resentment and how she felt about her husband and all that. Blew me, whiplash injury gone.
God, isn't that just wonderful? That just makes my heart sing with joy when I hear that.
Amazing.
Isn't that just beautiful? I love it when my clients do that. I love it when other people. This is just so beautiful.
Yeah, it was just hitting the nail on the head, and you can try therapies till you're, blue in the,
Yeah,
red in the face or whatever. But when you hit the right therapy with the right practitioner and they find the key to the lock, it's
yeah,
amazing how quickly it shifts.
yeah.
So yeah, that was a brilliant result. And interesting, since then I've seen quite a few people for whiplash injury, which is
Beautiful.
quite interesting.
Because we can't talk our way out of trauma.
No.
And this is where people try, or they think they go to a physio. And I don't know about you, but the amount of clients that I see that have spent thousands and thousands, and like you, they just go, well, you have to live with it.
Hmm.
Or here's I don't know why I was looking around, I don't have a bottle of pills, but I've got my cat treat, so I was going to lift that up. I don't think that was appropriate. Um, But people who think that they have to live on painkillers or they have to go and just live with it, isn't that just beautiful?
Exactly. It's amazing. And I think sometimes it takes for the client to think, almost decide they want to nail this. They really
Yeah.
want to get rid of it. And then it, with a bit of work and seeing the right, it's almost like they decide to go and see the right person and to deal with it. And
Yeah.
then, you know, once the practitioner's found it, it just goes, which it's incredible, isn't it? It's amazing. Yeah.
It's just beautiful. So how can people find you, Gill?
They can find me at their email address, jillcrane1@icloud.com,
Yeah.
and my website address, which is www.jillcrane.co.uk. And I'm on Facebook, so you can look me up, Gill Crane EFT practitioner.
Yes. As you can see, everybody, this was not a setup. We were just going to have a chat. So Jill was not expecting me to actually ask